Civic space, citizen participation costs. Module 4, civil society and citizen movements as key actors of good governance. According to ECOWAS, good governance is a set of measures, rules, decision-making, information oversight bodies, which seeks to ensure smooth running and control of state, institution, or organization, be it private, public, regional, national, or international. What is this telling us? This course is, teaching us to understand that governance is about set of rules, set of measures to inform proper decision making, and then people to follow the rules and information to be accessible by oversight, or to be given by oversight bodies, and citizens to have the needed information and contribute to the processes, both at public institutions, either at national level or regional level or international levels, but anything that is called a public institution. That's the setup that it needs to embrace. That the institutions belongs to the citizenry, and the citizens need to have access to these institutions, and they should be able to engage them, for them to function for the purpose that they are created for, which is for the citizen to serve the citizenry. It is critical for now us to move on to discuss CSO's role in helping citizens to be conscientized. So CSOs have been playing and continue to play critical role, in conscientizing citizens to effectively participate in democratization processes as a key mandate for every citizen. So CSOs have been building capacity and training, through advocacy, through public engagements. CSOs have been instrumental in conscientizing citizens to understand their rights as citizens, and then to understand the different measures and steps that they should take as citizens in holding governments accountable. But also to understand the powers that governs them and how to effectively use the power within them as citizens to advance the cause of democracy, good governance, human rights, and rule of law. So the capacity building and engagement that CSO organizations do for citizens and their formations help build self-esteem and confidence in citizen formations, and this advance their contribution, and this also advance the creation of citizen movements that are holding governments accountable or leaders accountable. It is critical for us to understand that CSOs are leading capacity building of citizens, and some of the processes that CSOs are leading, create an environment for the formation of social movements that are playing a critical role in conscientizing citizens and holding governments accountable. And then these are the citizen movements that are driving change and sustaining momentums for social change in different countries and different societies. They see the country first, the citizen movements. They go to the end of bringing change. They don't fear. We call them fearless movements in some instances. The increased emergence of social grassroots movements of women and youths is helping build confidence of citizens to participate in national discourse and holding leaders accountable to respect democracy, human rights, and good governance. So the process and the formation of these movements, of these grassroots women movements or youth movements, is giving courage to people to see themselves belong to a group that protect them, that support them, that is being in solidarity with them. We've seen in movements in Senegal, like Yanamar, when one is arrested, the rest of the movement members will not sit down at home, but they all fight for the person to be released. We've seen them in DRC, in the Luchas, the courage movement in Kenya, the student uprising movement in South Africa, and all of that, and many others movements that are out there in the continent that have been fighting tooth and nail together to ensure that when one is attacked, the others are not going to bed. So it gives courage, it gives support mechanisms. The Economic Fighter League in Ghana recently, take streets to protest for constitutional reforms in Ghana. And when one of them is arrested, they take all the measures to ensure that they are released. So this is giving, the formation of citizen movement is giving courage, confidence, and then collective support. And then they are built around the spirit called Ubuntu, solidarity. That when one is touched, everybody is touched. And then this shows the resilience, and it builds a resilient nature in them. But one thing that is critical and interesting about this citizen movement is the leader's nature. The leader's nature of this citizen movement. You cannot identify who is the leader. And if you break one, you think that is the leader, the movement emerge again in the stronger phase or in the stronger form, and to show resistance and resilience of how they are organized. So they have been very instrumental and very progressive in ensuring that democratization is advanced on the continent, and they have been kicking out bad dictators and corrupt leaders through, non-violence actions, non-violence organizing of protests, continuous and consistent protests, and continuous discussions and dialogues, online, push and naming and shaming of corrupt and dictatorial leadership that we have on the continent. And the gains are numerous. So the role of media is very critical, very prominent in ensuring good governance that exposes corruption, abuse of power, and amplification of voices of citizens. We can look into this in two folds. The mainstream media are very critical to informing the public about what is happening. But this media, personnel, and institutions also are in support in many instances with the citizens and what citizens are fighting for. And information is key, is power. Information is power. So when media pass information to the general public about the challenges and the struggles of social movements, it informs the general population about the struggle. It ignites them, and it brings them to support. Again, social media serve as a very strong power and a tool, for organizing citizens. So now every citizen becomes a community journalist. They can pick up their camera and take a photo of an issue. They put it on social media. It comes out to be viral, and then it mobilizes. That particular process mobilizes itself and mobilize citizens to fight for one cause. The academia are critical in this process as well, in the civil society space. They do lead on research, gather evidences and data that are help to analyze situations and inform, policymakers, but also inform citizen movements in terms of the evidences of what corrupt practices have been in place, the bad practices of governance have been in place, and what actions they can take. Campaigning in itself involves evidence-based, processes. So when research institutions provide evidences, it helps campaigners to really advance their cause of really holding governments accountable for the injustice rules that they are practicing. So the civil society in itself and citizen movements in this space are very critical in the process of advancing democratization. In conclusion, you will see that in this module we've talked about the importance of governance, and then some of the definitions of what governance means and what it entails from ECOWAS level of thinking down to other philosophers in their thinking. But again, we in this module, we have talked about the support mechanisms and the capacity building avenues that CSOs and social movements are giving to citizens to advance democratization processes or democratization in the continent across. In this model, we have also seen the nature and then different ways of capacity building by CSOs. But again, in this model, we have seen that, how the new emergence and the advanced nature of formations of social movements contribution is into citizens' conscientization and their participation in democratization process. In this model, we have also seen the role of media in educating and empowering people around democratization process. But again, the role of academias, the research component of evidence gathering and analysis, how that inform campaigners and activists in order to hold governments accountable and leaders accountable. So this module, you can learn more about it, you can read more about it, you can listen more by clicking on the link, mock link below, and listen to this course. But again, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to the last module, Module 5.